DIY or Die, Walker Vapor Group LLC, or any of its associates do not condone nor encourage the use of nicotine, vapor products, or any mood-altering substances without the explicit consent of a physician. The content viewable on this channel is strictly for entertainment purposes only and not meant to be seen as informational or educational. Must be 21 years or older to view these materials.
Silky beat.
What is up, mixers? Welcome back to another amazing episode of the MIXINVIXENS. Today we're going to be judging our top picked recipes. I'm mlNikon, and let me just kind of go around the room and introduce everybody. First of all, we have JJ or Jennifer Jarvis. How you doing?
Hello, how are you, Emily?
I'm good. You looking awesome today. All right.
Thank you.
Welcome. Now we also have, we'll just keep going next to her. We have Shindo.
Hello.
Hi. Then we've got exclusivegirl.
How's it going?
Hello, Mr. Concrete River.
Yo.
And we got Rin.
Hi.
And at the bottom, last but not least, we have Jen Winstead. Oh, she's not last.
Yeah, fuck off.
Graham, but he's not showing up.
I have a good picture of too.
Hi, Graham. How you doing?
Hello, Emily. So forgettable. How you doing?
I'm good, thanks. We brought the boys in because today's judging time or recipe review time. It's AKA time for me to redeem myself from the dumpster fire that was last time.
It wasn't a dumpster fire.
It was not a dumpster fire.
Like
Okay.
you have not seen dumpster fire until you've vaped some of the crap that happens in my mixing room. You're good.
Oh, okay, cool. How you guys doing, man? How's everyone doing? What's been going on this week?
What? Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. You go first.
I was gonna say we're just super psyched to review some recipes. That's what's going on with us.
When did you guys start trying them?
We're super prepared, and so this morning.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
It's been a long morning though, like a very long morning. So we've had plenty of time with them.
Got it.
Like we've been in voice chat like 3 separate times, which involves a whole bunch of planning that we don't usually do. So we're on top of stuff.
That's pretty interesting. Impressive, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did not pick the
We have
3
shirts
biggest
on once.
procrastinators in vaping. I promise.
We're not mostly useless. That's just a terrible rumor that's being spread about us right now.
Who started that rumor?
Shindo did.
Okay. How's everybody else doing? How the girls doing? I haven't seen you guys in 2 weeks.
Stressed, planning for my trip next weekend or this coming up weekend, and then
Where are you going?
I'm going to Europe.
Nice.
I won't be available. I won't be on the show next week or the week after. So
Kind of like my hiatus in Florida.
yeah,
I actually was supposed to be back last Saturday, and then at last minute I was like, you know what? I'm staying one more day. And then Sunday I was like, you know what? I'm calling into work tomorrow. Then Monday I was like, I'm calling in Tuesday too. I have the vacations to burn. So I went and took 2 more days and I got home on Tuesday night and went right to work on Wednesday. So these are my first 2 days sitting down. I've done nothing but veg out, Netflix, and chill.
Are you sure that's what
What are we
Netflix
talking
and
about?
chill means?
Yeah. So you got smashed on your couch? What do you mean?
I
Isn't that
know.
what
I know.
okay.
Double
All right,
meaning,
so then,
you
yeah,
know?
all right, good.
Chilling.
Good for you.
My hubby missed me.
so Netflix and chill was correct.
Yeah. Nope,
Yeah, look at Concrete over there dying.
just bright red the entire time.
I have never seen it that red.
Concrete is dying. Dead.
Netflix and chill is code. I take.
Why aren't you open?
Do you not
Netflix and
know
chill.
what Netflix and chill means? Have you been on the internet in the last 2 years?
Yeah,
You know what it
I know what it means.
I haven't seen that. Or
It's
heard
what,
about
like
that.
I would say, like, hey, can I come over and we can watch Netflix and chill? And then I do like,
Well, see, I've been out of the dating game for several
Yeah,
years.
it's the new
basically
code for
sexual
dating.
manipulation.
Yeah,
I've
it's
been-
the new phone call at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I've been married for 15 years, and but I have teenagers, so I gotta say, you're not gonna go watch no Netflix and chill, are you?
What if they say yes?
Those poor teenagers.
My daughter will not say yes. She'll say, "No, Mom, I'm going to the gym."
Fucking lion.
Go read the Bible.
Ooh, ooh.
So, has anyone bought anything new recently, vapey wise?
Nope,
Nah.
not me.
Waiting,
it's
so
boring.
I'm just waiting for some batteries to show up.
I'll tell you what I have
We're talking
done.
about vaping.
I've rebuilt some stuff yesterday. I had a friend come over, and if she's watching, she's going to be mighty embarrassed. She came over with her tank so I could rebuild her coils. Well, I rebuilt her coil. She also brought her sister's coil. Well, her sister's vaping shop juice, or her best friend, somebody in her family. Anyhow, when I opened up that darn tank, the cotton fell apart inside, and it was one solid piece of freaking charcoal. It was horrible. I made fun of her. I told her, you call right now and you tell them they might as well light up a cigarette. It's terrible.
Yeah, most people don't know any better.
God, then buy coils. Don't get the rebuildable
Wait.
kind.
It was what? It was charcoal, the rebuildable one, because there was so much shit in it.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't even fire. I couldn't even fire the damn coil. It was done.
How much shit she had like in there for a year?
And she was saying, I can't hardly taste my juice.
Yeah,
Well, I guess not.
This girl tells me last night that she likes to wait until all the juice runs out and then she continues to hit it for a couple hours and it burns her throat and she doesn't know why. But that's why. Because she's vaping cotton.
I just thank God that we're all mixers.
Just going back to smoking.
I think that mixers are actually a lot more educated than your average vapor out there. It's the cloud bros that are just buying stuff. You know what I mean?
Mixers, coil builders.
Totally
people
more
take it to, like a
cool.
hobby enthusiast type level.
We like them too, though.
Yeah.
They're great.
We're way
Big
more
tent.
awesome than elite.
Big tent. Come on. If you're vaping on a TFV12 Prince,
Bring
you'll
it.
be grudgingly accepted. That's fine. Shout out to Alicia.
I mean, you don't have to be a coil builder. I'm talking about mixing in itself teaches us about what flavors should be like versus buying shop juice and just going through it.
But then how do you put it in a TFE 12?
Let's be honest, it's way harder to make meth than juice. So I have a lot of
By
respect.
the way, although it's not much better, I am using the TFV8, not the 12.
That doesn't even have a mess.
That doesn't redeem anything.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm saying it's not any better, but at least if you're going to make fun of me for it,
Get it right.
So 140 watts is the sweet spot on those coils, right?
No, it's like 160 something.
165.
30 watts, single coil.
Zupu 2.
165.
How many batteries you got in it? I know.
Two.
What's that?
23.
6-2.
Yeah, I soy boy all those.
See, I've been trying some like fancier. I've been trying some fancier coils because like people have been like super nice and stuff, and it feels like torture vaping up that high. Like it's deeply unpleasant. So I respect your ability to deal with that because
You don't like it when you take a hit and your fucking lungs catch on fire. You don't like that,
dude. It's like sucking delicious exhaust off a tailpipe. Like it's too much.
If we could have the salt.
Come on.
I'm sorry. I'm not good at coil building, and I don't want to like buy pre-made coils.
Why don't you put it on YouTube and have it go fucking viral? Just make a YouTube video with coil building. It guaranteed will go viral. Just do it.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Except for I want to, if I'm going to do any sort of like coil like built setup where I have like an RDA or an RDTA or something like that. Like I want to have coils that are decent that I can actually taste everything on, and
Just buy pre-built.
Just
buy
garbage.
pre-built
No,
Clapton
not
wire.
really.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I do. I buy the pre-built Clapton wire. It's just a matter of just wrapping
makes
it
it
5
easier.
times
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
It's
separating
totally,
and throwing it in
Well,
there.
you guys are
No
some
issue.
TFV shamers, all right?
Yeah,
Shame
really.
on one.
Just follow your bliss. Vape at
He
400
doesn't even have the RBA deck to it.
Alicia,
I
live
do
your,
actually
live your
have
truth,
my
all right?
RDA deck. I gave you
You
one of
sent
them,
it to
but
me. Oh, you
I
have two?
sent you one. I had
Yeah.
multiple, dude. I told you I had multiple. I have multiple of these things. This is
Yeah, I have a few of them too for some reason. I don't know why either.
because they're not bad. That's why. Because they're not
Oh,
bad.
The only you're not using was the Cleto. I have a
Yeah, no.
Cleto for like recipe testing.
Cleto.
It's horrible.
Sounds dirty.
I
I
do
have
like that Ultim RDTA that I picked up though.
It's just garbage. You can't taste anything out of it. It's just
I
You
do
got
have
the,
a baby beast for when I go to the beach. I don't want to ruin my good coils. You know what I mean? I have a little one.
When you want to fit
the
in.
big baby beast for whatever. When I buy 0.5 coils for it, I took it all the way to Florida and didn't use it. Not even at the beach.
I
So there
refuse.
goes that idea.
They have 93 different coils for the same tank. I refuse.
I've actually been using a Etek Penguin because I got a bunch of the coils for it for cheap as like
How
my
is that
testing rig.
penguin?
How do you like that?
It's okay. The first run of coils seemed a little bit better. With I guess all of the newer run coils, you have to like actually poke holes in the cotton to get it wick right, but it's fine. It's convenient as fuck, which is nice. Like it has like a giant like fuck off like 9-10 milliliter tank inside.
I need to prime the shit out of them though.
And how's the I'm all into the MTLs, but I refuse to buy them unless I feel like the coils are going to be around a while. So what do you think about the vapor production and the airflow?
It's basically like any other sub-ohm tank at this point. It has 2 different kinds of coils. I think the 0.2 and the 0.5. The 0.5 aren't like anything even remotely approaching restrictive. It's kind of like, maybe an old like Atlantis tank or something. But the 0.2 coils are super sub-ohmy, and you just kind of got to make sure to like puncture the coils. I probably wouldn't be using it if I didn't get like a shit ton of the coils for cheap off a Chinese website, but it's been working okay for like doing like my sub-ohm tank testing. The flavor's kind of garbage, but it's super convenient.
Right.
You guys have MePod? Anyone have a MePod?
Yes, I'm starting to really love it.
Do you know that there's
you
can stick something to restrict that in? You know there's a
They
restricting
have
thing?
those little. I don't use it because mouth to lung hurts my chest for some reason, so I just direct to lung it. That's why I like it because the airflow is.
But isn't it the worst? Like the worst packaging? Like you can barely even tell they're there. You know, I didn't know those little restrictor things were there for like 2 months.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Do you use it now? You use the restrictor thing?
Yeah. So I mean, if I use the MePod, I do. Yeah.
It's just like a little piece of plastic, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like trash, but that's what it's there for.
Yeah.
But,
Cool. So we're gonna get this party started.
Yeah. Let's get going with some recipe reviews. Let's start with Winstead, the E-juiceFairy's recipe.
Why did I get volunteered first?
Because you were the winner of last month.
Oh, okay.
and you asked if we're gonna get this party started, so start it.
Oh
Yeah.
Speaking of this party, I need to mention that judging is being helped out by E-cig Express.
Yes, it is.
Oh yeah.
So
winner
the
gets the,
winner of the judging gets a little something. It's
Nice.
A little spicier, you know.
Well, guys, my
There's
recipe.
actual steaks now.
Yeah, pressure's on, boys.
We were doing it for fun.
And they were like, "We can't have that. We got to up the stakes."
You just had to ruin everything with competition. You're supposed to be working together here as a collective.
It was too friendly.
We're cutthroat.
Yeah, thanks for having me on another episode of Mean Girls. I really appreciate it.
I want to see some fucking sabotage. This is getting way too nice. Hell.
So.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Your recipe was butterscotch and Bailey's drizzled vanilla sundae. Did you want to talk about it really quick?
I'm not prepared. I'm gonna let you guys talk about it.
Well, what was the first version? Was this the first version?
No.
Okay.
No, I made like 3 or 4 versions. Hold on, let me pull it up.
The old jogging the memory. I like it.
If you wanna.
I'm just curious because it's always interesting to see how a recipe evolves over time because of problems and different things.
Hey, I'll just have you guys know that I've been on a very low carb diet, and due to that very low 40 grams of carbs a day diet, on Friday night I drank 2 beers and got trashed. So I'm still, my brain is still not recouped from that. I did not know that would happen.
Skittles is that diet. His whole life was like that.
I thought I was lightweight.
It was bad. And then I commenced to drink, my normal. So I kept drinking. I drank like four more. So I went to all the way to 6 before I realized, oh shit, I am really toasted on 6 beers. What's going on
your alcoholism?
Huh?
Are you blaming bagels on your alcoholism?
Lack of bagels.
Okay.
Okay, so I got it pulled up here. The first one had butterscotch Flavor West at about 3%. It had caramel at 1.5, Irish cream FA at 0.5.
You're reading off a different one.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. He asked me what my original was.
Oh, okay.
I did not have Flavora in there. I did have the Kentucky bourbon at the same percentage. I had the sweet coconut. I had sweet cream from TFA, vanilla ice cream from FA, and the vanilla swirl. So it wasn't that much different. What I did was adjust the percentage down on the butterscotch because I couldn't vape it that high. And I added Irish cream from Flavora, and I added sweetener, and I changed the sweet cream to Flavora.
Yeah, so going through the recipe, I think after you're talking about some of those changes, the first thing I was surprised with this recipe was how clearly the Irish cream came through for being a smaller percentage. Like, that was really cool. I think the caramel, like the FA's caramel has that kind of like almost burnt note to it, and that was working really well with the actual like coffee flavor out of the Irish cream, and so that really helped like sell the coffee thing for me. So just looking at percentages, I don't think that's necessarily something you get from it.
Yeah,
right.
I think,
and I was looking for the coffee note since the picture had brown on it. I first started with chocolate. Also, there was another one that I no longer have on here that had chocolate on it, and chocolate completely took over. So I decided to go with the Irish cream instead. That gave me coffee notes and cocoa notes, but not necessarily a chocolate.
Yeah, I think it ended up pretty well too. I will say, what I really liked was that the coffee, like when you first start vaping it, the coffee is actually quite heavy, almost too heavy. But because of the way that works, like a few vapes in, it starts to mellow out. You get used to it, and then it's just at the perfect percentage. The Irish cream, that is.
I found it to be a little bit heavy myself, but I find Irish cream to be heavy, so I figured other people wouldn't find it to be too heavy.
Yeah, and I mean, we're terrible, trashy people, so that's not a surprising issue.
Yeah.
And then on like the kind of trashy person note, so you were talking about lowering the butterscotch, and while I do get like some of the butterscotch flavor, like I think I'm missing just a little bit of that butterscotch richness. Like I'd like it to be just a little bit trashier, but that might be like a personal taste kind of thing with some extra butterscotch in there.
Yeah, I lowered the butterscotch on purpose because I didn't want it to be a butterscotch ice cream. I wanted the butterscotch to blend with the Irish cream to be part of the Irish cream creaminess.
Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense too, because like the one thing that having the caramel in there with the butterscotch, so instead of just like also like kind of amping at those coffee notes, I guess, it also like has like a little bit of extra separation. So I think with the drizzle, like you do get like some of that separation just because that butterscotch is like automatically like grabbing on to some of that caramel separation there.
Right. My ice cream was the vanilla ice cream and the vanilla swirl. That was my ice cream portion.
Yeah, so this is the first time that I have actually tried the FA vanilla ice cream in a mix. It's just the vanilla gelato thing that came out with recently, right?
Yes.
Okay. Just making
Sorry,
sure.
I was on mute.
So this kind of spoke to me too, because like in a lot of milkshake vapes, like I have my own personal crusade against TPA VBIC, and I was super happy to not see something that buttery and kind of peppery in there for me. I feel like the FA ice cream and vanilla swirl like gave it a good amount of body, and that's kind of what I'm looking for more in a milkshake vape than like a whole bunch of like VBIC.
Right.
Yeah. I think I had a small gripe in the sense that the flavor art vanilla ice cream is kind of similar to Cap French vanilla. And then with vanilla swirl on top of that, you get a very fake vanilla flavor. And that kind of overrode any kind of dairy note that I would have picked up. Like I didn't get the dairy that I was really looking for in a milkshake, which I think could have been solved if probably you use like Vape Train Devon cream, because the tiny chocolate note in that wouldn't have taken anything away because you already have it in the Irish cream. And that has a really heavy dairy note.
Well, I was trying to use a vanilla ice cream, kind of like a soft serve.
Mm-hmm.
That was the intention.
I also think the coconut actually works pretty well. We saw a lot of sweet coconut this time. I think 3 of the recipes had sweet coconut in them.
Yeah, it works on everything, man.
Apparently. It's like Frank's Red Hot, man.
I bet Emily didn't use it.
No, she did. Yeah, but in like terms of like how the sweet coconut's working, like I think this was my favorite application of sweet coconut, just because it came through, for me at least, even at like 0.15%. Like I did actually get like a little bit of coconut that made me think of like a flaked coconut. It could just be the power of suggestion from that big delicious image of a milkshake down there, but totally tasted a little bit like flaked coconut. So that was a pretty cool use of that.
Cool.
Yeah,
But
I really dig the caramel. That was actually my favorite part, was the FA caramel, that burnt sugar sitting right there with the coffee. It's perfect.
Did it taste too burnt with the FA caramel?
No, I think 1.75 is a good number, because like when you go above that, it does taste more burnt. When you bring up that flavor, that's what it does.
I'll go ahead and just, I've said it before, I'm vanilla blind.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't pick up vanilla notes that much, and I have to add things to it. So when I add the coconut and when I added the Irish cream and the caramel to it, now I can pick it up, right? But then sometimes that's what takes over for a recipe when I'm tasting it. So I build this recipe on what other people taste.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see that. I would also say that if you are vanilla blind, that like Cap French vanilla type of flavor from that vanilla bean gelato, it's probably a good choice. Because I think even vanilla blind people have no problem tasting that, because it's a very fake and distinct vanilla.
Okay.
yeah, but I mean, overall, this is really solid, actually. Yeah, all these mixes are really good, but no, I like the layering here. I like how well it's composed. Everything seems pretty well in balance. Like we've got some minor things here or there, but I am going to fault you for only using 10 flavors and not 12 flavors. So
sorry guys, I'm sorry. Hey, I should be the queen of one shots because nobody wants to mix my stuff.
You said it's a V4. Like it vapes like a V7 or a V10. It's really well done.
No, I didn't have to make it too many times, but I mean, I make recipes like that often. I have a lot of friends that vape, butterscotches and vanillas. I vape fruit with cream. I don't vape darks too often. I vape that in the winter sometimes. So, I mean, I'm used to making those types of recipes for others. It was fairly easy for me to put that together, just from experience with those flavors.
So yeah, everybody comfortable moving on the milkshake train to Emily's recipe?
Yeah.
Sure. Let's go for it.
Okay, so the next one we have is your peanut butter milkshake. You want to walk us through the mix?
Sure. I'm just as bad as Jennifer, not being prepared.
Well, you guys also do a ton of like the output is quite frankly like horrifying. So
yeah, so this is a lot of flavors compared to some of the mixes that I do, but I kind of use the combination for the milkshake of Bavarian cream, and then I use Jennifer's hint of the sweet touch of sweet coconut, and then a little bit of honeycomb, vape train honeycomb, and then vape train toffee ice cream, because she went with the whole shredded coconut on top, and I chose to see it as toffee bits instead of coconut because I'm just not a fan of coconut. And the honeycomb and the toffee ice cream kind of play with that. And then my peanut butter base is just kind of the go-to. You know, you really, to use Rick's words, you lean into the TFA peanut butter, and then you just do a touch of Flavora peanut butter to kind of help it not fade as bad as just TFA, and bring a little bit of more kind of realism, because Flavora peanut butter is a little bit drier, a little bit nuttier. And then the chocolate, I use Liquid Barn's Lava Cake. This flavor is really interesting because if you just use 1 or 2%, you get like kind of a hot fudge chocolate sauce type thing. And then if you go up to like 6, 7, 8%, that's where you get like the chocolate cake. So I just used it low to kind of get the hot fudge that you see on the picture. And then I used sweetener from E-cig, but I'm fairly certain that it's the same, if not very similar to Flavor West sweetener. Like it's just sucralose.
yeah, and I mixed it up with the Flavor West. I just assumed.
yeah, it's the same stuff.
Yeah, and I definitely like the sweetness level too. I think the sweetener works well for the profile. I think for me, like this recipe is really interesting because it like TPA peanut butter, right? Like even with a little bit of the Flavora peanut, it kind of falls apart after a while. And I had the steeping for, I guess, since Monday, I want to say, when you posted it. But I think it's falling apart in a good way for a milkshake. Like because you lose some of the texture, but you also get some like generic creaminess out of it, which I think is really helping kind of pull up the milkshake effect for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or at least that's just wild speculation.
Maybe Sugar Daddy would have helped it.
Oh, stop. No, peanut butter is just a horrible, horrible offender for just falling apart. And you lose that texture. But like Rick said, in a milkshake, it's not that bad because it just lends to the creaminess of everything. And you still get the flavor of peanut butter. So
yeah. You're a brave person to tackle peanut butter.
For what?
Yeah. Did you not have DX?
No, I didn't. I haven't tried the DX yet. I didn't have DX at this point. So I will probably try that in my future peanut butter mixes, but I didn't have it at the time.
Well, and like full respect to the DX peanut butter hype train, but that whole falling apart thing's actually kind of a good thing in this recipe, which was really surprising. I think everything here, it definitely reads like a milkshake. I think I get like a good amount of creaminess from it. Like you see like just the 2% Bavarian cream and you're like, oh, that's not going to be creamy enough. But between the peanut butter falling apart and then like the toffee ice cream and that extra bit of coconut to kind of like cream up the entire thing, like I do get like a pretty solid milkshake base out of this. And it's definitely a peanut butter milkshake. So that part of it's spot on for me.
Yeah, I think peanut butter lends itself really well to milkshakes in general because of the way the flavor itself works, especially TPA peanut butter, what it does. And it's so freaking weak, right? So putting it in something diluted like a milkshake, it actually kind of feels pretty accurate. And then using, honestly, one of my favorite flavors, Vape Train Toffee Ice Cream. It's a really, really good flavor. Also very hard to work with because almost anything you put over it will overpower it. But using something like TPA peanut butter, as I said, it's weak. It pairs very well with the toffee ice cream. You actually still taste it, which is really nice. Sweet coconut adds texture. It adds interest. It's like a little wow factor, a little what is that? And I think that works brilliantly here.
Yeah, toffee ice cream is a really, really good flavor, but it's a bit of a wimp. And it gets steamrolled fairly easily.
Very, very easily. Yeah. Yeah, I think I paired it with rum once, and I
think it's sweet. I paired it with rum once, and I had to use the rum
What was that?
Oh,
Graham? What was that?
What?
To
What's
hear
what?
ourselves in the background.
No, it's just
Mute us.
Okay.
I don't know what you just said. I was just saying that I think the sweet coconut moistens up peanut butter a little bit. That's,
Yeah.
You know,
yeah. I was surprised you didn't use the Kanako soy here. I think that could have worked as well.
I tried actually in one of the versions because I've been on this huge Kanako soy kick. I love it. But one thing I noticed that no matter how kind of fragile you are, delicate you are with it, it can kind of steamroll over things. Like it sticks out like a sore thumb to me anyway. Maybe just because I've used it so much lately. But it's a really good flavor. But it just kind of overpowers things.
Yeah, I mean, it can definitely add some grittiness too that you might not want in a milkshake. So I can see that. One thing though is I still taste cake. I still taste cake from the lava cake at 1.5.
Yeah, and I think the Vape Train Honeycomb, like, I love the flavor of it. Like, it's a good toffee flavor, but I think the texture isn't really, like, kind of snappy or crispy. Like, it feels a little soft. And I want to say, like, 1.5% lava cake, I shouldn't be tasting as much cake as I do, but I feel like maybe the honeycomb's making it seem a little cakier.
Okay.
Which, like, the flavor profile isn't, like, off at all. I mean, you're definitely still getting chocolate in there, but, like, there's like a textural element that kind of feels a little bit out of place with.
Maybe that's part of her topping.
Just crumbled chocolate cake on my milkshake. Yep.
Yeah, like it's not a bad thing at all, but I do think like it reads a little bit more like a cake rather than like a hot fudge ribbon or anything. Tastes good though.
Yeah, regardless, for me, it's a 5-star. I liked it a lot.
Thanks.
Also, I thought the Bavarian cream was really, really good there.
Yeah, like that cream base comes together. It's a very, very solid recipe. And that last recipe wasn't bad. We just have to uselessly nitpick things. We don't know what we're talking about most of the time.
At all. Rick says stuff and we nod.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a reason that Bavarian cream is like a classic. So don't be afraid to use it because everyone uses it. There's a reason.
But yeah, overall very, very overall very solid recipe. So do you so you want to go over Alicia's recipe next? That work for everybody?
Yep.
Okay. So Alicia, you did a strap-on. Will you tell us about your strap-on?
Yeah, sure. So I went with Alpine Strawberry as like the main strawberry in mine because I haven't played with it before and wanted to try it out pretty much. I did a couple different things where there were lower percentage than normal, so that way they did a certain things like cactus, of course, to like add the more wet mouth feel. LA watermelon to like add the mouth watering effect itself, like the same effect you get from the watermelon Jolly Ranchers when you actually eat them. They just make you salivate. And then I'm still playing around with the like cooling agents and stuff because I really haven't used them very much. So I wanted to try it out in this too. But it's like kind of like my take on a classic strap-on. You've got your strawberries, you've got your watermelon, and then I've got like I put the Fuji apple in there. The Fuji apple is kind of more in the background. It's not as like potent as, let's say, the strawberry or the watermelon are. But unfortunately, I never got to actually have it fully steeped because my sister stole it from me, and then I never saw it again. And all my stuff's packed. So yeah, I don't have too much really to say about it though. What are your guys' takes on it?
What made you pick this recipe out of all the ones you for the month?
Well, I only had 2 to choose from, first of all. The other one was a coffee-based one. I actually really liked it, but the reason I didn't go with that one for you guys to try was because I figured if you didn't already mix it, you weren't going to get to have it steeped, and it requires like a 3-week steep. So I didn't want to throw something your way that you couldn't have at its optimal taste. I did like the other one a lot though. It was a coffee based, like it was like a coffee caramel frappuccino kind of a thing. It turned out really well. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, but for being a strap-on, this is actually a very good strap-on. You have an excellent strap-on.
I was only ever a strap-on.
Are you saying that like it's a surprise, Rick? Do you
My
hate
mouth's
strap-ons?
no strap-ons.
He already knows that I'm going to use one on him if we have to do the FM
Comes with one.
F Mary Kill.
Okay, with all of that said, no, I do actually really like this. It's funny with the strap-ons, like a lot of them use like Red Touch or something like that, and Red Touch is one of those flavors that just completely disappears for me. I do like the strawberry mix here quite a bit. I think the little tiny bit of Alpine strawberry, and I just toothpicked it in like a 15 milliliter, but it seems to have been enough. It works well with that kind of more candied, like jungle flavor sweet strawberry. Like I do like the strawberry mix here, and as somebody who's largely strawberry mute, I can taste it pretty clearly, so that's always a bonus for me. Not that it counts for judging or whatever, but it's awesome that I can taste this.
Glad to hear it.
So the strawberry part of this is executed really well. The apple part, the JF Fuji working exactly like it should. I like the JF over the FA a little bit. It's a little bit, I guess, crisper and less like sweet peel for me. I think that's another flavor I have an issue with. And the JF Fuji, like absolutely spot on. A little extra bit of cactus. It adds some more juiciness. It's a really, really good strap-on recipe, and I feel like taking some of the earlier strap-on recipes and moving it in this direction is really smart. Seems well balanced to me overall. I think the watermelon is maybe just a tiny bit timid for me.
Yeah, I don't know that 0.75 Loran's watermelon is doing much of anything.
Oh, that's the only purpose of it is to add the mouth-watering effect. It's not meant to actually act as a watermelon in the mix, because I didn't want to go with a straight up candy melon. I wanted it to be closer to like a normal ripe melon, and then just having that candying effect, because I like it in the mix to like have something where it like makes you salivate. So
yeah, I mean, it tastes like that classic combination of just red stuff, basically, with the watermelon and the strawberry together. It tastes pretty candied, but in a good way. In a sense, it's like, well, I mean, DIY changes so much over time that it's like you took the old strap-on recipe and you just brought it over to 2018.
Are you vaping it right now?
Well, I am.
I'd like to watch you salivate.
Just gotta ground it in something creepy, don't you, Graham?
I want to watch Rick drool.
I've just never seen that, you know?
I do like where the cooling is here. The 0.75% WS23 seems like right about on the money. Like it's cold, but it's not brutally cold, and you get like a little bit of thinning of those heavier candy flavors, but not in a bad way. It still tastes full, but it finishes kind of clean. So I like where the cooling is.
Yeah, I mean it's really good. I think the only place it really lost a bit of points was like creativity, because it's a strap-on at the end of the day. There's no real like wow or interest factor or anything particularly unique.
I haven't actually done a strap-on before, so this is my first one. But yeah, I wanted to do what I could to like make it interesting without, because you can only go so far with the strap-on.
Anyone says strap-on, and I just instinctively go, ugh, not again.
I mean, but do you want me to say?
Wait. Are you like, no, not again, because of you backflashes, or?
That's exactly it.
Sorry. Look at Concrete. I love watching him turn all those shades of red.
He's so red. So tomato.
This is so bad. Apparently, all I do is blush.
It's almost as red as you are brown right now.
Again, really, really solid recipe. Well done.
Right back to the recipe. Right back to it.
Well, yeah, I gotta change the subject here before I like start glowing red. It's all good.
You don't have experience with a strap-on, do you? You want to talk about it?
That's not for air, my dude.
Straight pegging. Nice. I like it. Number 2 search term on Pornhub. Pegging.
Wrong channel.
Not the
Wrong
place
channel,
or time.
Graham.
What are you on?
Save that for stopgap.
Not the place or time.
I'm just saying that's a fact.
Okay.
Well, it's bothersome. Look what's happening to society. Stepsister's number 1 and pegging number 2. All right, move on.
Graham, go to your corner.
Move on. Listen.
Just a disembodied voice spewing filth. I like it.
Take it away, Rick.
You guys are the one bringing it up. I'm just helping. I'm color. Go ahead.
So, you guys want to go over Rin's recipe? That work?
Yeah.
Okay, Rin. So you did a. Let me pull it up here.
Giant dildo.
Yeah. You want to walk us through your mix?
I mean, it's kind of like a step. Like, it's not a walkthrough. It's just like step over. It's pretty simple. I tried to do more complicated ones, but they just were not good. So anyway, it's predominantly candy roll, even though that's like the smallest percentage of the mix. And then I wanted to mess with tropical punch because I've never used it prior to that. And then I added Flavora watermelon, mainly just because the picture had watermelon on it. And I think that it's kind of like subtle enough to just kind of hang out there. It's not going to overpower anything, because the Flavora watermelon isn't really in your face. It's kind of just a subtle, more realistic watermelon. And then it has like a little bit of sweetness to it. So I don't know. I think it's good, and it's not really all that complicated, but it tastes good. So that's kind of the goal.
I love those simple ones, man. Sometimes
Yeah.
they're just the best.
Me too. They're way easier to mix.
Oh yeah. Just because I could. Right.
So I'll completely give it up. This does, in fact, taste very pink, because that was the theme, right? Some sort of pink drink.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pink AF, yo. It's it's good. I like the way that these flavors work together. And like you said in the description for the thing, like I mix low, so you have to double the percentages or whatever. So that's what I did just right off the jump, is I doubled them because I'm a Philistine. But yeah, everything here is working really well together. The candy roll, it seems like kind of an odd fit to start out, but like the second taste, it's like, oh yeah, no, that's exactly what it's doing. It's giving like that entire like sweet backbone to it. And then the Flavora watermelon, really good choice here, just because it does convey that drink thing very well. It's the least candied of the watermelons that I can actually sort of taste, that I enjoy quite a bit, and working very well for like the base. And the tropical punch with that kind of like Hawaiian punch, like bright red guava note, just lays in there very, very nicely.
Yeah. And you could add coolant to it. I just don't like cooling agents.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I could also see adding a bunch of different tropical top notes to this. Anything you wanted, pretty much. It seems like a really good foundation.
Yeah, it looks like a good like base or layer for just like a fruity drink layer, and just, you know, have fun adding stuff to it.
Yeah, you could throw all sorts
I did
of
add a bunch
stuff
of
in
stuff. I put bubblegum in it. Worked. For sure.
Yeah. And I think like this does work a little bit better as like a base for me. And it kind of like after vaping it, like the question is, okay, this is cool. Now, like, what do you slam on top of this? I think that's one of the things that your passion tea recipe did really, really well, that I like the most about it, because it was that same kind of mixing where it's like, here's a really solid base, and then you just like throw that lemongrass like straight down the plate, and it works with everything surrounding it. I feel like Graham was saying, like bubblegum, or like I'd kind of want like maybe a more obnoxious watermelon, or maybe like a candy grape or something, but it feels like a really good jumping off point to have like almost kind of like a strap-on, actually, like coming back to it, where you have that like very specific base, and then it's like, okay, now what can you do with it? Like, what else can you throw on top of it?
Like a flavor pyramid. or a pyramid scheme.
Yeah.
Yeah, and everything that is here works well. The balance is completely right on it and all that. It's just like it's the kind of mix that just asks the question of like, okay, now what are you going to do with it? You know, like it's a good kind of like candied sweet tropical base for like a more dominant just kind of steamroller of a flavor.
Yeah. Anyone who wants to mix up these recipes and doesn't want to be stuck in the same recipe with what they create, if they want to change it, this is probably the recipe to mix up. You can literally add any kind of top note that you want to it.
I mean, except for coffee. Don't do that.
No, definitely do that. That would be hilarious.
Yeah. Like the Starbucks of the week.
3% FA tiramisu right on top of that base.
Yeah. Also, I learned that I really like candy roll. I haven't messed with that flavor a lot.
I love that.
Candy roll for rules,
That's one
dude.
thing I haven't tried yet. Candy
Yeah.
rolls.
You need to
It's
try
like a
it.
sweet
Really, try it.
a chalky, like a sweet tarts type candy.
Yeah, I found out it's actually one of their best-selling flavors commercially, Flavoras.
Yeah, it's
It's not chalky. Not at all.
No.
It's not like powdery. It's not like sweet and tart. Or
So it's more like a spree type
it's
candy.
it's more if you go along the lines of Capella's candy, jelly candy. It has more of that with a little bit of the floral from the hard candy that Flavor West has. So it's just a hint of that. So it's somewhere in that jelly candy, hard candy profile.
Cool.
How does it differ from the flavor art one? I don't have the flavor art one.
The notes to it are different. I feel like Flavoras is more perfumey than Flavor Arts. Flavor Arts is more candy.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
I'm definitely looking forward to getting my hands on that Flavor Art Candy Jamie Wizard. Like, that was the one that wasn't in stock on Bull City when everything dropped. It's mad big.
It should be soon, from what I understand. It was just back ordered.
So, you guys want to go for the last mix? We'll do Jarvis's key lime pie here.
Yep, I am ready.
Okay.
That's where we gotta go.
Jennifer, will you educate us?
On the actual recipe of my thoughts
just
there.
in general. Yeah.
I did actually put notes on this one. None of my other recipes have notes on them. Okay, so this one I just did a basic key lime pie. It was one that I was messing around with for my daughter, and she wanted something with a pie and the lemon lime kind of flavor. So the meringue pie, the lemon in that one, and the Capella's lemon meringue is light enough to cover over with the lime flavors. I was going for a no bake jello based like lime pie, meringue pie with like a whipped cream, but almost like a fluffy marshmallow topping. So I used FA key lime and Flavora's lime because that just tastes like lime jello. The Kanako soy is the bridge between the notes in the limes, the coconut, and the pie crust. So it just kind of brought everything together and gives it that silky smoothness of the no bake, like jello base pie filling. And the meringue was just kind of there to help the crust out with a little bit of the like cereal base to it. Sweet coconut, toasted marshmallow, and what else? And the soy were the topping, and the graham crust. And that was just to add a little extra crust. And WS23 is just there to make it a little cool, not too much.
So my
Right?
favorite
And it
my
worked.
favorite thing about this recipe is the lime, and looking at it like right off the bat, like seeing everybody else's key lime recipes and stuff. Like it seems like Flavora lime is an interesting choice, but it's that, like you were saying, like that bright, like jello kind of lime to it. Like it pushes that lime in a really interesting way that I don't see in like a lot of like DIY like key lime pie recipes. Like it's a big, bright lime, and I really, really appreciate that.
And it does fade. I mean, if it's too much right off the bat, after a couple of weeks, that lime is mellowed way down. So you're not going to get as much lime as you will in the first like week. It's going to punch you with lime, and then it mellows out, and it's going to be a smoother, creamier kind of lime cream base there.
Yeah, my favorite thing about this recipe is that toasted marshmallow did not kill it for me. Like it
Just a
tends
little
You
bit.
hate that.
Just-
You
Oh,
love
that's
that.
high praise coming from Shindo.
Yeah, because he has personal vendetta against that flavor.
I
Yeah,
do. That flavor murders recipes for me. I don't know why.
Because the vanilla note in it has that fake vanilla flavor. You can taste it. It's that fake marshmallow, not the good marshmallows, the funky, cheap marshmallows.
Yeah.
Like I get.
It has almost the same effect on some recipes as adding like 10% RY4 double. Like,
Yeah.
where it just mixes them all together.
Yep. But with this, with the using that with the what else did I put in there? Because I just closed my screen down here.
Florida key lime and
It's the sweet coconut, blending that little bit of toasted marshmallow with the with 1% sweet coconut is enough to make it creamy.
Yeah.
So
I think the coolest thing about this recipe is that it's not a key lime pie. It is exactly as you described. It's almost like a key lime candy with the flavor of crust as well.
Yeah.
Like it's really cool. If you were gonna make a key lime pie that you wanted to sell commercially, I think this is like the ideal because it's very clear cut as to what it is. There's not a million layers, even though there are a lot of flavors. They all blend into two distinct, wonderful layers. The lime is bright, vivid, extremely noticeable, and so is the crust. And it's there in your face.
I think if I were going to go commercial, I'd put whipped cream in it too,
Mhm.
just to fluff it up a little bit more.
Yeah.
But I figured, I didn't want to give you guys more stuff to have to get.
you know what? Somebody needs to break the 16 flavor barrier. Let's do this.
I can do it.
One as well.
I have an unpublished 32 item recipe.
I hold
Well,
myself
thanks to
back
E-cig.
because Emily always makes fun of my books.
And I think part of like why that lime is so bright right off the bat, like you were saying, is probably the steep. I mean, I think I mixed this on Monday. I think it was probably Monday, maybe Tuesday, but like almost a week out, like that lime is still nice and bright and vivid for me. And I could see this like turning into a slightly more nuanced recipe. Not that that'd be a bad thing at all, but like as like a week out, like I really do like how aggressive that lime is. And like Kyle's saying there, like I like the fact that it kind of reduces down a key lime pie to like super identifiable things. And I think sometimes like getting like trapped and I need a distinct layer of whatever, like this is like it gives you a flavor and then it throws the right accents on it. It's just very clear. It's super engaging. Like I want to bake more of it. It's very good recipe all around.
Yeah, in the same way that like instead of a caramel apple, you have a caramel apple lollipop, right?
Yep.
That's essentially what this is for a key lime pie. And it's
key lime pie lollipop.
Yeah, and it's like it's totally a feat of like an impressive feat to use Flavora lime and not have it taste like green Windex.
Feet.
Yeah.
Oh, you're saying a feet.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you were saying a feet. Like feet.
No, we're not talking about Pornhub.
Oh, that's insulting. I was like, that's hell insulting. You're saying it tastes like feet? Oh, okay. All
Can
right.
you?
I was like, I love it. I don't think
I love
feet at all.
lime, but I've never gotten index out of it.
Okay.
Oh, you're just not using it high enough. Crank that up.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
awesome.
Turn the feet.
I've never gotten Windex either.
We just don't use it high enough, Jen.
No, I don't think I've ever used it high
Use it
enough.
as
I always
Windex.
think Jello.
Well, join Mixers Club
Yellow.
and maybe I can torture you guys as well.
Is the Mixers Club still going?
Yeah, so the Mixers Club is still going, and I'm doing my duly pointed duty as somebody who kind of does some stuff for Dave while he runs it. If anybody's interested, definitely hit up Mixers Club because we need some more members. So
You hopped right into that show. That was amazing.
You guys hate Canadians.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is, we don't need people bad enough to deal with an international audience. But if you're domestic and you want to get some feedback on your recipes from some very serious people who like to mix, then it's a really great avenue.
America, only Americans are.
Yeah.
See, there you go. And maybe Dave won't be so mad now that I got his plug-in for Mixers Club.
Yes, he will.
I was a member of it for a while. It was a lot of fun. I just didn't have time for it anymore. But I might, maybe once I get back and I have everything sorted, maybe I'll join again.
But yeah, with the plug for Mixers Club out of the way, no, these were actually like really solid roundup of recipes. Like, it was really hard to find things to bitch about here, even though we try super hard to be super negative and awful about everything.
It's really hard to nitpick. But,
I mean,
but luckily that's my personality. So
yeah, I thought you found it easy.
Yeah.
But if did anybody want to do a drum roll here?
Just all go.
So if we're picking a winner here, I think this month we got to give it to Jarvis. It was just a really fun, engaging recipe. I dug it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I dug it more than I would have if you had added a cheesecake layer to it. Like, it's an interesting take on it, which is really cool.
Yeah, I didn't want to do classic. Everybody does just key lime pie. I've got 20 key lime pie recipes.
Yeah. Also, for anyone that hates zest, this is the one to mix because there's no heavy zest note.
Oh, and also
you get the E-cig Express, so you can get more flavors, which you need. Desperately.
Jennifer Jarvis totally needs more flavors.
Definitely needs more. Definitely needs more.
I always need more. You'd be surprised.
I know. I'm with you.
It doesn't. I look like I have enough, but I really don't. I need in aware of stuff.
I know. I get it.
No.
I can't even get out of my house.
I need more vape train stuff.
I decided not to order anything else for a little while.
Good luck.
I know.
It's so hard.
I'm looking at the pictures I look at a picture every week and I'm like, okay, what can I build with what I have?
I had successfully been on a flavor buying freeze for a while, and I was very proud of myself for being able to do it, but now that's over. So.
Yeah,
because you have every available flavor in Canada already.
Yeah, all 19 of them.
All 19 of them. Gotta love Graham.
It's easy to stop buying them when they're getting all sent to you, right? That's pretty funny. Huh?
I haven't had flavors sent to me, Graham, in months.
2 weeks. Months?
So months. It's been months, Graham. Do something.
All right, I'm on it. I think I'll get you the Wiltons next.
I told you this show is Mean Girls.
Wiltons coming.
We love it. We love having you guys on because, we don't pick on each other, but we certainly have a fun time picking on y'all.
I feel guilty for being a man when I'm on this show.
Oh, I know.
That's the point.
As well you should. We're not man haters. We love men. No. We love you.
Yeah. They want this. You have no idea how bad. I said, we shouldn't do this. It's not good. They said, no, come on, do it.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. That's true.
Yeah, Graham, that's exactly how that conversation happened.
You guys feel awkward.
No, it did. Rick was like, I don't want to go on there because they're going to make me look like my true self's going to come out, this woman-hating person I am. And I was like, it's all right, Rick. You're a real nice guy.
Yeah. And then Graham was like, it's fine. I do enough women respecting for all of us.
Yeah. I spent half the week doing that.
All right.
I think that would be worshipping on his part, not respecting.
I have 2 daughters. I didn't that.
He's on that.
What number is that on the porn
stuff on Reddit?
Did you just give a link out? Is that what happened?
Again with that. How many times did you reference it?
Check the Discord later. I'll give you links.
So what is the lovely prize here, Graham?
It's a gift or a code for E-cig Express, so she can get
Awesome.
some flavors. I mean, anything you want there, actually.
Like
Flavors.
we're not going to attach a dollar value to that. Like
We're not really sure yet. So
okay,
that's why I'm dancing around that. I'm glad you picked up on that. It's we haven't decided that yet. We're working on
Mystery
that.
prize.
Yeah, it's enough to get probably what you don't have.
half a bottle of FE sweet rice.
The 4 flavors you don't have, I'm sure we can cover it.
Yeah, whatever you don't have a 4 ounce of.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes it's just fun going back and revisiting flavors you do have that you haven't used in forever because you're developing recipes. Today I pulled out of my hat one using OSDIY Lucky Shot. I haven't used that in forever because we build our own, and that's pretty much a one shot of itself. But it was a lot of fun just throwing that together with 2 other flavors and walking out the door.
It's a good
Put
flavor.
it in your hat. Yeah. Well.
All right, guys.
Is it that time?
What else we got?
Well, we said a weird awkward silence, I guess so.
Yeah, when the weird awkward silence happens, it's over.
Well then,
It's
Yeah.
time to be done. Well,
should I do the wrap up, or are you doing it, Emily?
No, go ahead. Do it.
All right. Yeah. All right. I'll do my usual spiel. So, as you guys know, because we tell you every week, don't forget to mix our recipes and rate them on all the flavors. And thank you, all the flavors, for applying us with the.
We are going to have the.
Awesome.
Hey, speaking of that,
we did get most of them on
there. Okay.
Speaking of that, we did have somebody that mixed some of our recipes last week. I had somebody, and I don't have his name in front of me.
It's Red Rager.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Red Rager mixed up a key lime pie. I didn't get a chance to mix it though. I feel really bad.
Well, we can talk about it. How about mix it up and then bring it up next week?
All right.
Oh, also, Emily, you got a review already on yours.
Woo-hoo.
Maybe review that recipe next week.
What?
Sounds good.
But yeah, so we actually recently spin up a MIXINVIXENS All the Flavors account, which we'll add the link to probably in the description after the episode closes out. But yeah, so we now have that one, and you can find all of our recipes in one place instead of having to jump around from our profiles. We're going to make sure that we start putting all of our recipes that we make, each one of us anyway, we'll put them in there. So if you are not seeing somebody's recipe in there, feel free to call them out on it because it's their job to put it in. So, but yeah, so thanks All the Flavors for letting us have that account because it's helping you guys out. So, and then also, if you mix up your own version, be sure to hashtag it with MIXINVIXENS like Red Rad did. So good job there. If you want us to make something for you that a profile that you're interested in, be sure to post it on our Facebook page in the thread that's for that, so we can have them all in one place. Let's make things easier on the judges because they have to go find the photo and pick them out for us to mix. If you want to hit us up for any questions on there that we can bring up later on a show, or in the chat if you have any questions, that's a good spot to message us, or on our Discord because we have that there too. And although it's like dead most of the time, we do check it. We do actually respond. So, liven it up, make it more fun in there. Yeah. I don't really have much else to say. Does anyone else?
We are actually more likely to respond to you in Discord than we are Facebook.
Faster, actually.
Faster, yeah.
Probably right.
Yeah.
You can find my new one-shots at chefsflavors.co.uk.
You had to make it dirty.
There you go.
All right, guys. Well, you guys have a wonderful week. It was fun coming back.
Bye.